How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Happy New Year, all that good stuff. I have not posted in a while because, I haven't done anything super exciting race-wise or anything like that in quite a while. Last couple of months have been kind of just like endurance type stuff. Mainly just lots of Zone 2. Just to get a little base going for next year. So I wanted to kind of start up on the Zwift races again, and New Year I guess was good time to do that. And they're doing their like Tour de Zwift races and rides and all that. So it's a sort of a perfect time. So this is a Friday morning ride, and it is the Tour de Zwift Stage 1 race. I know there's like the races and rides and things. This is the Stage 1 race. It's on turf and surf. And like I said, I haven't done a Zwift race in quite a while. So I think typically would do them like kind of in the afternoons or in the morning, something like that. So this is a little bit different for me. This is in the morning, and it's pretty early, but it's still a pretty big field. So I think that the Tour de Zwift races generally get a bit more, a bit more people in them. So there are 67 riders besides me in this race, and it's a pretty big field. The other thing that kind of is a bit different is that, maybe first of the year, people are getting on new trainers and, new signees for Zwift. So you're never exactly sure, like, if everybody belongs in the same category as you or not. And to be honest, actually, my Zwift score is probably a bit underestimated for me, but I'm probably also a bit rusty just because I haven't done it. So your score goes down quite a bit when you don't ride or race a lot. So I think I'm at like 350 something for this race. I started. I think I ended last year like almost at like 500. So yeah, it's probably a bit low for me. But I'm in the 350s somewhere. So this is I don't know if they call them like A, B's, and C's anymore, but this is like I think the top is like 390 in this race. So like 300 to 390, something like that. This is like different categories and stuff, which I like because it keeps it interesting. It's just hard to figure out which race this actually is. But all right, and some other cool new Zwift things. You see I just stuck the ride stats up on the left, and so I had to move the camera down a little bit. So I like these ride stats, which I think is a relatively new thing. So you move the camera down a little bit. So I don't have any spot for like my live commentary video. So I think I'll have to play with the setup for the overlay and everything on that. But so the ride stats up there. You also, which is like kind of brand new, is the draft indicator, like right below the like heads up display at the very top. There's that little blue line, and that shows you the draft, which is actually really cool. I do really genuinely like that new feature. And then obviously the mini map over on the right, I added the profile to that. That was not too long ago, so I really like that. Zwift's really catching up with the display, so I am happy about all of that. Maybe I could put my video down in the bottom right. I think it'd be good. All right, but anyway, so turf and surf. I've done this course a bunch of times, so I'm pretty familiar with it. The main features are going to be the relatively small climb in the middle, and then the relatively small climb that's much closer to the end. So pretty much until then, it is more or less all together. I think there's one rider up the road, but I was pretty confident that he was gonna be brought back just by the fairly big group. And through the first 15 or 20 minutes, we do sort of establish the front group here, and it's pretty big. I think there's like maybe 40-ish people in this front group. So it's a pretty big group. So we do end up bringing that lone rider back to get into the start of the middle climb here. So my thinking on this climb anyway is I think it's like 3 or 4 minutes. I kind of basically just wanted to stick to the group here. So I will slow it down a little bit as we get into the climb. And actually, it's gonna look like I'm going real slow now after watching me in like 8 times speed. But so you can see the profile up there that changes to match the climb and everything. And again, I like this new Zwift setup here. So this and these parts of the races. So you see down at the bottom, my power profile is pretty much just zone 2, zone 3 sort of tempo-ish through the first 20 minutes. So I was feeling pretty good, but like I said, through the November, December months, I more or less didn't get out of zone 2 very much. So my heart rate was pretty high actually. So you can see I'm at 170, 178 for just kicking up a little bit here, and that's pretty high to be in the middle of a race for me. So I would like to see that a bit lower. And I don't know. I don't know how heart rate training works over time, but my guess is that as I get a bit more used to the higher zones, as I start like different training blocks and things, that the heart rate will get used to that. So I hope eventually that it can be a bit more I don't want to say well rested, but my heart rate will get a little bit lower as I'm more used to these upper zones. So the start of that climb, I actually found myself a bit further back than I wanted to be. So I put in kind of I just picked it up just a little bit going through that section just to catch up with the leaders. It also allows me to make sure that I can respond if anybody does try to attack. There's a pretty good downhill and flat section before that last hill, so more or less confident that everything's going to be together. But I guess it's just a good idea for me to be up there. And I think I do a pretty good job of staying up in this group so far. If I remember right, so this is from last week. This video is from last week, so don't quite remember. I didn't get a chance to upload it last week, so you're gonna get 2 this week, stage 1 and stage 2. I did stage 2 this morning, so figured I'd do them both at the same time for the video. And so if I remember right, I do have a feather power up, and I know that there's one more power up at the top of this climb that we can get, but I don't really want to risk getting something other than a feather because I kind of want to save that feather for the last hill. So I do not use it on this climb, if I remember right. So I probably would have thrown it there. So I do a pretty good job of staying up here at the front. Like I said, heart rate, it's still a bit high. It's still at 180 now, which is is pretty high for me. I think my max is like 186 ish. So like mid 180s. So to be at 180 is I'm feeling it a bit. But anyway, yeah, I do stay in this front pack here, and I'll go ahead and speed it up again here, so we can just basically try to conserve as much energy as possible before the last climb. And I was pretty excited about this Zwift race. So like I said, it's been a while since I've done them, and I forgot how much sort of how much fun they are. Like I'm like texting and stuff during it, so I guess I was feeling pretty good. But yeah, I mean it just gives you something a little bit different for training. So it's pretty excited, I guess. Pretty pumped going into it. I was probably nervous too. I think I was nervous if I remember that. But anyway, so this is kind of the main feature here of this course. So it's like a last little climb, and it's not huge. It's not a big climb. This is say 3 or 4 minutes, but it's pretty close to the end. So you want to be basically towards the front. So I do make a little bit of an effort here to kind of stay on the front here. I don't really want to like attack, although I do see a couple of guys take off, and if I remember right, I was thinking that they weren't going to be able to stay away that long, because it is 3 or 4 minutes. So I think I probably just wasn't thinking that they were going to be off the front until the finish, and the finish was interesting on this one. So I probably mispaced this climb a bit. I probably could have gone up to the front with those guys, but I don't. So I kind of stay back here. I make that choice to stay in this group, and that you'll see a little bit later that probably comes back to bite me a little bit, but I do a pretty good job of staying at the front of this pack. So again, my heart rate's even higher now, so I do feel like I probably have to get that under control for the off season, but since this race, I have started a different training block. So, kind of spending more time in the upper zones. So I'm feeling okay about where I'm at training wise, at least for the early months. All right, so I go ahead and throw my feather because we are getting towards the end of this climb, and I do see those guys starting to get a little bit further away. So. I do want to kind of try to reel them in a bit. So you get 7 or 8 seconds away from them. So I don't want them to get much further away than that, because although it does flatten out towards the end, I don't think we can pull back more than 5-ish seconds. So. There's a relatively small group. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 5 or 6 guys in this like chasing pack, and I don't know. We sort of work together, I guess. Nobody kind of attacks. So we do work together. But I am kind of saving a little bit for the sprint coming up to the line. So, I don't want to like full out try to bridge that gap now. But I do see, now we're down to like 5, 6 seconds. So, we aren't letting them get away, which is good, because I think we can probably catch them now that it gets a bit flatter. So we will. So we're almost done. Yeah, almost done. So ready to finish. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. Ride stat wise, we're averaging 20 minutes, 200 watts. So yeah, is relatively, other than this last climb and the middle climb, is relatively chill during the race. And looking at the power profile, you can see that too. So lots of blues and greens when there aren't any climbs. So all right, half mile left, and you see my face. I am struggling a bit, but I still think that I can probably pull that back. So eventually, I do go ahead and start a sprint somewhere. Let's see how I do. There's a lot to look at in these Zwift races too. Lots of like data around, and I think actually my race this morning, you'll see in stage 2, that kind of I think that kind of gets me. Too much to do. Oh, a level up with with a quarter mile to go. All right. So this guy ahead of me, kind of, starts his kick there. So he takes off. We got about 1,000 feet to go, and there we go. So I start my sprint. So they got 3 seconds on us, and I put my head down and sprint. Kind of take a peek up here and say, oh, I'd probably get him from the line, and I just do. So just catch him at the very end, but wait. Zwift, unfortunately, does not have me catch him. So that puts me in third. So I want to rewind. I want like a photo finish of this finish. Photo finish of this finish? Does that make sense? All right. So I start my sprint. And I'm still thinking, like, we got the momentum going. I think I can catch him. And actually afterwards, he said he slipped a pedal. The guy that comes in second, I think he comes in third, but comes in second. He said he slips a pedal, so that's why he kind of like comes to a halt. But let's slow it down. If the finish is that banner, I think I got him. I think I got him. Look, it even got me on second up there, but for some reason, Zwift has me at third, which is a bummer, but that's okay. I officially come in third. I averaged, what did I average for that one? By the way, we're jumping into stage 2 here while I chat about my finish for that. So I averaged just over 200 watts, which is like 3.2-ish watts per kilo for me. That's relatively chill for a Zwift race. I think, last season I was averaging like 3.5, 3.6-ish. So yeah, it's fine. My 20-minute power is like 3.4. So 5 minutes was 3.9. So that's pretty good, actually, a pretty good 5 minute for me. So that last climb, I averaged about almost 4 watts per kilo. So yeah, that's not too bad for me. And I'm happy with second/third. Score goes up a little bit. Let's see, went up 7 points. So I'm up at 363 now. So we will jump ahead a week in time, another Friday morning race, and this one is stage 2, and it is on the course Hell of the North. And yeah, another one where basically you're just saving yourself for the end. And in this one, it's kind of even more apparent because it's really basically flat through the entire first 11 miles of the course, and then the last mile is is a hill. It's sort of not straight up. It's just not like super steep, but it's that's about it. So you can see the profile over there. It's like flat and then up. So the goal for this one is much like last time. So stay in the pack and just kind of save myself for that last climb. And I do a pretty good job of that, I think. So I'll go ahead and speed it up here because really there's maybe a couple of attacks that go, and you'll see that happen, but it's essentially just this front group here, which now is like about 40 riders in this front group, and we basically just do like a group ride until the end, and while that kind of speeds up, I chat a little bit. So with the power for last week, what did I say? It was like I ended up like 3.1, 3.2-ish. 3.2-ish watts per kilo for average for the whole 30-something minute race, 36 minute race. This week is actually even a little bit less, and I think just because it was just super flat for the first 7/8 of this race. So I averaged for the whole race, for the whole 33-minute race, I averaged 3.15 watts per kilo. So, that's pretty chill. And I am also trying to make it a bit more, my power a bit more smooth when I'm in the group here. So I do try to, try to keep it, keep my profile a bit smoother. And I don't know. I mean, looking at it now, it's kind of all over the place. It'd be nice if it's just average, right tempo, right green, something like that. But for the power, so yeah, I said average 3.15 for the whole race, and 5-minute power was 3.7, which was actually less than last week. So the problem with this course is I haven't done it in a while, so I wasn't too familiar with it, and mainly I'm just talking about that last climb. So I really didn't know how long that climb would be, in terms of time. So I was trying to basically see, what sort of power I could do for the last climb, but not knowing how long it is. I probably should have done some research before I hopped into the race, but I did not. So I am going to try to wing it, and we'll sort of see how it goes. But for the race itself, so you can see we're in this front group, and what did I say, about 30 or 40 riders ish in the group. So overall there's 56. So again, pretty well attended race. And that's why I do like these weekly Zwift Stage races. At the end of the Tour de Zwift, it switches over to I think they call them Z Racing series. And I do each month they kind of do a different some different courses and different names and things, but I do like these because they go every hour, and they're pretty well attended. So there are a fair amount of riders in them, which is always more fun than just having a few. All right, we are into the last climb, and so distance wise, what are we looking at? 1.6 mile climb. You see one guy takes off pretty early. Apparently I did not learn my lesson from last week, because my first thought is, oh, there's no way he's staying away, even though last week at one or two riders take off at the beginning of the last climb, and they kind of do stay away. So I don't know. maybe I'm not learning, but what I am doing is looking at the profile at the top, so the ride profile. So we're looking at yellows and oranges, but what I'm mainly doing is looking how much I kind of have left for the climb. And then trying to gauge my pace on that. So you see, I think I put down a pretty smooth pace through the first part of this climb. And again, what I'm trying to do is stay kind of towards the front of this chasing group here. Still thinking that the rider in the front is going to be brought back. I do have a feather because I saved it, and there were a bunch of power-ups in this race. But I saved my feather for the end because I did not want to risk like going through the last power-up spot and getting a draft or something. So I wanted this feather, and so I do. I do make a mistake with it though, and we'll see. The other thing that I don't know if they do in the Zwift race. So when you're normally riding in Zwift, you have that little pop-up on the left that will show you like the sprints and the climbs and things that are coming up, and it'll tell you how long they are and like your PR on them, and the King of the Mountain time and things like that, and you can kind of gauge how long it's going to take. And I don't think they have that I guess they don't have that in the races, or maybe in my ride stats hiding it. I don't really know. But that would have been helpful this morning because I don't do a very good job. So I'm still, I'm still pacing myself. You see, even my heart rate now, like this week was much better than last week. So last week, like I went into that final climb like over 180. This week, I mean, I've been climbing for a couple of minutes now, and I'm only at 178. So like, I think that's a good thing. Like I'm doing fine. Like I'm actually feeling pretty good. Still thinking that a couple of those riders are coming back, or not going to be able to stay away. I shouldn't say coming back. I should say not going to be able to stay that far out. But I think I'm doing a pretty darn good job staying at the front of the group here. So through here, what I really should have done, because I'm quickly getting like close to the end of this race, and I think what I was looking at is, and I'm like throwing up excuses already, but I think I actually raced okay. But I'm like, need to make excuses apparently. So I'm looking at the profile map in the middle of the heads-up display. The trouble is that it doesn't show you the finish line on that profile. Like it's just showing you the what the terrain that's coming up. And in this course, even at the top of this hill that we're doing at the end, like it continues to go up. It goes up to, is it Ven 2 or Ven Top? I don't know, Ven 2, I think. So it's just going to show you like the terrain coming up on the road. It doesn't actually show you the finish. So that's where I kind of make a mistake, and don't look at the distance to go. I'm just looking at the terrain. So I'm still in this pack here. There are two riders up the road, and at this point I do feel like they're probably I think still gonna come back. I think I can still catch them, but yeah, I mean, like even now I think I'm looking like straight up at the profile, and my thought, I think, is that the finish was going to be after that second little rise before the blue section, before the flat section. Turns out the finish is not there. It's the first blue section that you get to, the first little flat section. So I'm waiting to throw my power up until I think it's going to be like just used up at the very, very end. But what I should have done is probably been looking at the distance to go now. So we got quarter mile to go, 0.2 miles, 2/10, something like that. The rider in front of me in the blue Tour de Zwift kit, he ends up, probably picking it up about just back there. This guy as well. And yeah, I probably should have thrown my feather back further. I end up doing it about now. Yep. And then, not sprinting or anything like that, but yeah, I do pick it up for the end. But by the time I look up now, like I'm looking up like now, and I'm like, oh, there's like 200 feet to go, and like there's the finish line. Like I really should have. And I think I'm even confused. Like, wait, it was done. But yeah, I should have been more attentive to how much distance was left. So I was not, but I still wind up 5th, which is not terrible. Score goes up again, so I'm up to 369. So it's not, not terrible. Couple of good races. So yeah, it's fun to get back into it. I really like these Zwift races. It keeps training on the trainer, indoor training, interesting. And I will probably continue to do them, and we will see you next week.